Hey YouTube, it is raining outside and it's morel season, and we have a friend who just gave us twice this much of fresh morels that he went and picked in an undisclosed location. And I thought I would share how to freeze dry morels, because this is obviously way more than you can eat in one sitting or even 2 nights. I don't like mushrooms, but my husband loves these, so I thought I would just quickly show you guys how to preserve morels with a freeze dryer if you are lucky enough to have one. We have a Harvest Right medium-sized freeze dryer and I love it. I've got a round of these already out there from yesterday that I started. So I thought I would show you this second round going in, how I prep them and how they go in the freeze dryer and how this works. So I will show you how I do this. And these are very gorgeous. I don't know a lot about how to find them or where to find them, but he found the mother lode. There's more than this. He's bringing us even more. Thank you, Tony. There are a lot of reefs and ruffles all around these, so you want to get them very clean. So I rinse them first really well under just cool running water, and I'm going to cut off this little end that's just a big clod of dirt, and we'll throw that out. I don't know a ton about morels, but I do know that true morels, there are some false ones, or there are some, mushrooms are iffy. I don't look for mushrooms myself because I don't trust my knowledge. But I do know that true morels are entirely hollow, and you can see that. So if you're looking for mushrooms, I guess look for that. But this one's really big, and I just give them a quick rinse underwater. And then this sink right here next to me, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got about 2 gallons of water and about 2+ tablespoons of kosher salt that's going to go in that water for a saltwater soak. So what I do is rinse them really well, and then once they're rinsed, I'm going to just kind of set them in one of these as I'm rinsing them so they all go in the salt water at the same time. And they're going to all go in the salt water, and just I'll swish them around in there, and I'll usually let them sit for 5 to 10 minutes in the salt water, and then remove them and change out the salt water and do it a second time, because I just want to make sure that all of any kind of bugs and any kind of dirt is out of all of these little nooks and crannies. So I'm just going to give this one a quick rinse and carry on with getting them separated. Then we'll put them in the salt water, and I'll kind of show you from my angle what this looks like. Just going to put a few in the salt water just to show you, and these are after being rinsed, and you can see how much of the little bits of dirt and debris that are still coming out of these. So I kind of just lightly swish them around in this salt water, and I'll usually put a few more than this in here, but I just wanted to show you guys how this works. And I'll give them about 5 to 10 minutes in that solution, and I'll come back and kind of do this every so often just to kind of get a little bit of agitation moving in those little nooks and crannies, so we can hopefully get rid of more of that, all of the dirt. And you can see the water's turning a little bit dirtier already. So, and then I'll rinse them and do this a second time, and then they are going to go on these trays, these are the freeze dryer trays, and you are going to put them on here. And then you have 2 options for freeze drying. You can either put them in the freezer on these trays and freeze them solid before you put them in the freeze dryer. You can freeze dry them already frozen, which makes it a shorter process. Or the last one I did yesterday, I didn't do that. I just put them dried, rinsed and dried with paper towels, and just put them damp right on this and put them right in the freeze dryer. And that round of those is finishing right now. So I will show you what they look like out in the freeze dryer. The second time for the same batch of mushrooms back in another round of clean salt water, and you can see there's still more stuff coming off of them. So I'm gonna say this has been a good double rinse, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out just carefully, and I just kind of drip dry them over the sink, and then just put them in a colander, and then I'm gonna lay them flat on a tray and press them with paper towels a bit to just get them drier than this before they go on the freeze dryer trays. So this is pretty loud, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And what we want to do is check these, although I already turned it off, so hopefully they're good. But what I do is pull them out, and hear how crackly? That's done. So we're going to go ahead and pull these all out, and I'll show you how to package them up with the Harvest Right Mylar bags and the sealer. So once you have brought them all in, and I like to work pretty quick, I don't want these to absorb any more moisture even out of the air. You're going to need Mylar bags in whatever size you're going to bag them up in. I use a Sharpie to mark what these are. And then you always want to have these, which are the oxygen absorbers, and they're going to go in every bag. If you don't do that, these will reabsorb moisture from the air and you'll end up with ruined freeze-dried product. Do not forget these. If you get the Harvest Right freeze dryer, you'll get this little heat sealer, which will heat seal these bags. And I always do it twice for each bag just to double make sure that there is a good seal. All we're going to do is put the mushrooms straight in these bags after I label them. And I'm going to just fill each one of these I don't know what size these are, I'd have to look. These are called 1 quart bags. So I'm going to get going on those, and I'll show you how we package these up. And I just grab them, and you want to be very careful because we don't want to break these up as they go in. So I'm just going to put in whatever the bag will hold comfortably. You kind of shake them down, and you want to make sure you don't get too close to the top because you're going to want room to close that bag up and seal it. I was kind of hoping I could get a bag, a tray in each bag, but it looks like we might be able to if I kind of put them in carefully. We're that full. So I think we can. We've just got one more. It depends on how full your trays are. So those are nicely stored in there, and it looks like that will fit. And then before you do anything with the sealing, you've got to, and seal these right back up. I actually put them right in a Ziploc bag because as soon as these start hitting air, they start to absorb air, and you'll see there's a little pink, those 2 pink dots, those will start to change to sort of a grayish blue, and that means these are absorbing air, and they're going to be no good once those turn color. So we want to keep these sealed up even while you're using them. So I'll just put them in a quick Ziploc as soon as I open this bag. And for a quart bag like this, I'm just going to put in 1, and I just make a little hole. I don't even cut the whole end off. I really want to keep this bag as sealed up as possible. So we pull 1, and even before I do the next bag, I actually just seal it right up really quick. And we put that in with the mushrooms. And you can get those for different size bags, but for bigger bags, you're going to want to put 2 in. And then we just take this bag and carefully make sure you're not crushing any of these because it'd be really nice to keep them as whole as possible. Get it flat under this heated surface, and you just hold down. And you can hear it when it turns off. And you can see there's a nice line there, but I will actually do a second line just to be really sure that we have this safe, because I've had times where if you get a little wrinkle in there or something in that seal, you could end up with a little bit of air getting in. So we're going to just do 1 more. And there you can see the labeling and a nice double sealed line. So those are ready to go in long-term storage, and we'll continue along. And if you've done this right, technically freeze-dried food should last 25 years. If you're lucky enough to find a bunch of morels, I hope this inspires you to freeze dry them if you have access to a freeze dryer, and then you can eat them for many, many months into the future. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.